Hello and welcome to today's webinar, How to Create, Promote, and Manage Your Events in Constant Contact. Thanks for joining today. Now, before we dive into events, I did want to let you know about all of the tools available with Constant Contact, especially since you can use some of these to promote your event. So we have our tools for creating great looking email marketing campaigns. That'll be important when you're promoting events. You can also automate your email marketing. So we have our email automation and welcome emails. List growth tools also to help you grow your contact list. You can create digital ads for Google, Facebook, and Instagram that will help you find new customers and grow your list as well. You can post to social media through Constant Contact and reply to social messages. So that's also important for events. We have SMS text marketing. So that's something you can use to expand your reach. And then, of course, our events platform is what we'll be looking at today and more. So we've got all these great tools, features, and our expert guidance you need to help you succeed all in one platform. Really great for doing multi-channel marketing and just reaching your audience where they are at. But with that, let's dive into today's session. Getting the word out about your organization is an everyday job. I'm sure you're all experiencing that right now. To stand out in a fast-paced environment, you need to ensure people commit your brand to memory. One of the best ways to get people invested is to host events, and those events that provide important information and value. They're a great way to grow your business or organization. You can build stronger relationships with your existing clients or members. You can find new ones and drive revenue and donations, not to mention growing your list and just building more brand awareness with events as well. And just a few stats to share about events. First of all, we have found that 70% of the audience of an event becomes regular customers after attending. For those of you in the nonprofit world, we know that 56% of worldwide donors regularly attend fundraising events. And event technology, like the tool we'll be looking at today, can increase attendance by 20% and productivity by 27%. So that's why we're here today and what we're here to talk about. I'll be showing you how to create, promote, and manage your events in Constant Contact, along with some tips and strategies to make your events more successful. So let's see more specifically what we're going to cover. We'll talk about how to plan for success, and then we'll log into Constant Contact and create an event with our event platform. And then we'll be talking about how to use our platform to promote your event, to get the registrations and attendance that you're looking for. And then we'll also take a look at some of the reporting and analytics that you get to manage your event as well. And just a quick introduction to put a face to the name here. So my name's Caitlin. I'm a manager on the professional services team. I've been at the company about 11 years now, so I have a lot of experience with Constant Contact and email and event marketing as a whole. So I am excited to share my knowledge with you today. If you have questions, I'd love to answer those as well. So if you click over to the Q&A on the right side, you can type a question in there. That comes straight to me, and then I can answer those as they come in. So at any point, just type it in there. You won't see each other's questions. They just come straight to me. So if you're not seeing anything over there, that's okay. Just send them in and I can answer them out loud for the group. But with that, let's dive in. Make sure you have a plan for success, and then we'll log into an account and get started with creating an event. As you're getting started, it's important to spend some time planning in the beginning stages to have that plan for success. And there's a few main things you want to focus on. First of all, it's important to set some goals. So, what is it that you want to accomplish? You might be looking to drive revenue or donations, grow your list, build loyalty, or celebrate some sort of milestone, educate them, or just drive awareness for your brand or organization. Once you have the goal, it's important to determine your key metrics. So, what are you wanting to pay attention to determine the success? So, do you want to track those event signups, attendance, shares or mentions, ticket revenue, list growth? Those are all things to track and measure your success with. And then once you determine your budget, you can nail down the type of event you'll have. So it could be virtual, it could be in person, or both, like a hybrid event. Those types of things will help you figure out the details for your event and you can work towards your goals. No matter the event, just remember the value. So, what is in it for them? You don't want to create an event just to sell something necessarily. Think about what your audience will get out of it. That can be a goal, and you can have other goals as well, but just make sure you're providing value to people in some way. All right, well, with those few tips in mind, let's jump into constant contact and we'll create, promote, and manage an event here in the account. Now, one thing to point out real quick is we are in the process of refreshing the view of the homepage. So a lot of you will have the navigation here on the left. And this is the new version. Some of you might have a blue bar at the top, and that was the version that came before this. Everyone will be switched over to the left bar soon, but just wanted to point that out in case yours looks slightly different. That's why, but all the same options are there. They're just kind of on a different place on the page. To get started with the event, that's going to be under this audience growth option on the left, or if you have the top bar, it's under the marketing option up there. And then we'll click events. Today, I'm going to create an event for a nonprofit. We'll do a fundraising event for an animal shelter called Hearts and Tails Animal Rescue. So like I said, you want to set goals for your event. So our goal is to fundraise, raise funds for the shelter. And while we're at it, we'd like to build a list of loyal supporters so that when future donation campaigns come around, we can reach out to them. To get started with that, I will click Create an Event, and then it'll bring us in here to start setting everything up. And this first section is just the basics. So this is the easy part. Once you have all your details planned, it's the when, the where, all of those types of things. Now, I do want to start out by giving this event a name. You can see in the top left, it's just an untitled event. This is the internal name for you to save it under. No one else will see it, but you do want to rename it so you're not getting confused, especially if you have, multiple events that you're running. So I'll just copy and paste something in. Hearts and Tails fundraising dinner and auction and the date. And save that. And I do see your question, Brittany, about the add to calendar widget. We don't talk about that too in depth here, especially if you're having issues. I have heard that in the past that people have had trouble sometimes adding the event to their own calendar. I think if you run into that again, you can reach out to our tech support team and they can talk you through that. But we won't, I can show you where that is and kind kind of how that works, but we won't do any sort of troubleshooting or anything like that in depth. All right, so starting out with this, the first thing you do is choose an image. This image is used across all the different marketing materials that you have for the event. So like the landing page, the emails you send out, your registration form. So I'll just click choose an image. You can upload it from your computer if you want to try to find a stock image, or you can even create it in Canva and then bring it over. I do have one I made, so let's just grab that, insert it, and there we go. Now we give it a title. This is the outward facing title, so this is what people will see. I'm going to copy and paste in, but you can type directly in here as well. And then the description. This is just a short description. If you have more details to share, you can do that in other places. So for the title, I'm going to say support our furry friends, fundraising dinner and silent auction. And then the description is join us for dinner and bid on a variety of silent auction items. Our furry friends will thank you for your support. So we're showing the value there. We're letting them know if they buy tickets and attend, they'll directly be supporting the animals in the shelter. So kind of pulling on their heartstrings a little bit. Next, we just select the event type. So choose something close to what you're doing. I'll put fundraiser charity. And then location. So this is where you indicate whether it's physical would be like in person. So you're putting a physical address. Virtual, I'll show you that real quick. This is, you can't like stream or host an event through Constant Contact. You'd have to use, a platform like Zoom or something like that. So then once you get that set up there, you put in the URL to the link, the event URL here, and then that'll be emailed to them when they register. But we're going to do physical. I'll just check this box to use the account address to save us some time, but of course just type in whatever the location is there. Then date and time. So when is it? Let's say we're planning ahead for July 1st. We'll go with 6 to 9:30, let's say. And then we have this option, display end dates. I don't necessarily need to do that since it's not a multiple day event, but that's up to you. Close registration automatically. I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you don't do this, they can register pretty much all the way up until the event starts. So sometimes that's okay, especially if it's a virtual event. You want to get as many people signed up as possible. But for us, we need a little time to plan ahead, get our final numbers, registration list. So maybe we'll close it a week before. So once this date comes around, they'll no longer be able to register. Moving right along, contact information. So let's put my name. This is just the person, the main point of contact for the event. This is who the confirmation emails are coming from. They do get a confirmation email when they register. So I'll include my email address there. You can have a different reply to email address. So we have like an events one. So that would be if they hit reply on like an event invitation or confirmation email, it'll go back to that. Then we have a phone number. Let's just put in a fake one here. Organization is Hearts and Tails Animal Rescue. And then display contact information to registrants. I think that's important to do so they know who to contact. And then We have this option to send me an email when someone registers for the event. That is also optional. If you're anticipating a lot of people signing up quickly, you maybe don't want an email every time. But I know a lot of times it can be helpful to just track and see those registrations coming in without having to log into Constant Contact. So now that we filled this out, you'll see on the right side, this is a preview of what we call the event landing page. So you can't edit this here. We'll edit it later, but it is something that's automatically generated. It's a standalone web page. It's the place you can drive people towards to get all the information about your event. For now, it's just giving us a preview, filling out all the information we filled in, just so we can start to see what things are going to look like. But with that, we're done with the basics, so we can continue. All right, now we have tickets and add-ons. So basically with this, you have to have at least one ticket for your event. You don't have to call it a ticket. I know sometimes you're doing just like a volunteer event and you just need people to sign up for it, or it's free, so you don't need to sell anything. You still have to create a ticket, but really what you're creating here is an option for people to sign up for. So I know sometimes that word trips people up. They just skip past it because they're not doing tickets. I'll show you how you can rename that. But I'm actually going to do 3 just so you can see what it looks like to give people different options. So we'll create the ticket. And let's call this first one general admission. So this will be, let me copy and paste in a quick description. This option will get you in the door for access to the silent auction and light refreshments. And this is a fundraising event, so it does cost money in our case, but if it's free, just leave the price at 0. We'll say $50. Let's cap the quantity. Let's say we have 100 of those tickets, and then you can limit it per order as well. If you do more than one, that allows people to bring guests and buy multiple tickets for different people. So I'll stick with 10. I think that's okay. But I know sometimes if you want to drop this down to 1 to force everyone to purchase their own ticket or sign up for just themselves, you can do that as well. You can set a ticket sale date range. That's if you have like early bird tickets that you want to offer at a lower price, for example. Because we have a set quantity, we can have it display the remaining tickets on checkout. That can create a sense of urgency and encourage them to sign up if they see the tickets are running low. You can make the ticket required for all registrations, and this little info bubble explains that further. So this will basically select this option for them automatically. Sometimes there's one thing you need every person to opt into. So that would be what you could do there. I'm not going to do that for mine. I'm giving them different options to choose from. Then we can generate a printable ticket. I'm going to do that for mine. The idea is they can print it out, show it on their phone at the door, and that's how they get into the event. But if you're not doing tickets, you can just leave that unchecked, and then people won't actually get like a physical ticket emailed to them. This last option I'll skip for now. We'll come back to that. So let's save this. And there we go. We have our first ticket. Let's do another one. So I'll click Add New Ticket. This one will be similar. Let's say this is a general admission plus dinner. So this is like just the next level up. They get in the door for the silent auction and they get a full 3-course dinner. So that'll be $100, let's say, for that, 100 quantity, 10 per order. Then I'm just going to do all the same things where I display the remaining tickets on checkout, generate a printable ticket. I don't need to make it required. I'm not going to set a date range for that. We did set that date range for the overall event, if you remember, and then I'll save that. So now you can see what it looks like when there's two options. Now I do want to do a third one that's different. So let's go into that. Click Add New Ticket. So let's say we want to offer a special ticket for the people who volunteer and serve on the board. Excuse me. They serve on the board for the nonprofit. So they get a special ticket because they are a board member. So we could call this our board member admission plus dinner. And the description would be, this option will get you, a board member, in the door for access to the silent auction, and you'll be served a full 3-course dinner. It will be a lower price, $50, so they're kind of getting the $100 ticket for $50. I'm going to say it's unlimited, but limit it to 1 per order. We don't need a date range. We don't need to make it required. We'll generate a printable ticket, but now we're going to do this final thing where we can reveal this ticket with a code. So we don't want just anyone buying this ticket because it is a lower price. If they're not a board member, we don't want this option to be available to them. So what we can do is create a code. The board member, we'd communicate it to them, some other way, whether it's a separate email, let them know at the next board meeting. We let them know what this code is. They type it in, then the ticket appears for them. So it's hidden unless someone knows the code. So to set that up, we check the box and save it. And now you can see it does tell us over here that it's hidden. So that's why it's not showing up on here right now. And then we have to create that code. So that would also be under this drop-down menu we've been working with. And this time we'll go to promo code. So then we decide what we want the code to be, which is board member, let's say. Just can create whatever you want there. Then you can apply the code to entire order. So this would reveal all the hidden tickets. You can also do just like a discount code for the entire order. I'm going to have it be connected to a selected ticket, which is the board member admission plus dinner that we created, and it's the hidden one. Now, we don't need to set a discount amount because we already set it at a lower price. I'm just going to leave it as unlimited quantity. We don't need a date range for this either. But if you wanted like an early bird discount code, you could do that as well. And then we'll save that. So that's all you have to do there is just get that code set up. If you forget to do that part, it will prompt you before you can activate the event. It'll tell you you need to create your code because you have a hidden ticket. And then it adds this little add promo code option. They would type it in and then the ticket appears. Now let's look at a couple other things for tickets. So as I was saying earlier, you don't have to call this a ticket. You can see right now it's labeled as tickets on the form, but we can change that. So we could call it registrations, passes, fees. Those are just suggestions. I could even just say something like choose an option below. And you can see how that changes there. I can set an overall capacity for the event. So maybe I have to cap it at 150, even though there's 100 available of each of these. This is unlimited. We do need to cut it off at a certain point. And then you can restrict registrants' selection to one ticket type. I'm not going to do that for mine. I'll uncheck that in a minute. But you can see this actually makes it to where they can only choose one. So maybe it doesn't make sense for one person to choose multiple things. So you can do that. But I don't need to do that because I want people purchasing tickets for other people as well. Okay, now one last thing to add is you may have noticed there's a third option, which is an add-on. So this is a way to allow people to purchase or just sign up for something that isn't a ticket, although it's a very similar approach. So you can add an image if it is like an item, and then you would just put in a name. We'll say we're doing a t-shirt, and then a description of that. Arrive to the event in style, comes in several sizes. The price is $25. We can even add different options with this checkbox. So maybe we have 25 small, medium, 25 of those, large. You get the idea. We could keep going if we want. Limit per order, I'll say 10, since they could get 10 tickets. You can display the remaining add-ons on checkout, since there's a limited quantity. You can do a date range for that. You can reveal that with a code. So all very similar to the ticket. But if I save it, you can see it is just like a separate thing they can purchase. And then you can rename this too. So instead of add-ons, it could be upgrades, extras, merchandise. You can type whatever. I'll call it merchandise. And then we are set. So we have our tickets. Oh, let's check that again. We have an add-on. We have our code. So we're ready to move on to the registration form itself. We'll continue. All right, so this is where you're collecting their information. You, at a minimum, do need to collect their first name, last name, and email address. That way we have a name attached to the order or the registration. And we do need to have an email address to send the registration confirmation to. So at a minimum, we need those things. Otherwise, we can also add other information as well, especially if someone can buy multiple tickets. Maybe we want information for each ticket for each person that's coming. So that's set up down here, but let's look up here. So you can select this option to limit to one registration per email address. I won't do that for mine. We don't mind if people buy multiple tickets because it's a fundraising event, but for a lot of events, it doesn't make sense for someone to sign up for it twice. And sometimes people forget. So this makes it easy so that if someone tries to sign up again and they already signed up, it won't let them. And I do highly recommend this, allow registrants to opt in to marketing communications. So this will automatically add them to a contact list in your contacts, which it never hurts to do that. In our case, one of our goals was to build a list of donors. So this would allow us to easily do that. And then there's a checkbox where they can opt in. You choose what list they get saved to. Let's say fundraising event contacts. You can create a new list up here if you want. Label, so that's the label next to the checkbox. Instead of marketing emails, I'm going to say news and updates. Since it's a nonprofit. And now we can fill out these registration form fields. Now I can change the label. So instead of contact information, I could call it something else. Although I do think that makes the most sense. Then as I said, first name, last name, and email address is required for the main point of contact. Maybe we could call that point of contact. I like that. Just to make it clear to them that this is the main person who's signing up this group of people. But then we can add form elements. So maybe we want the first name of every ticket or ticket holder, you could say. So we would add first name, make it required. And then this is actually a new feature. You can decide which ticket this applies to. So in this case, maybe I do want to know the first name for every ticket. So we'll do that for this one. You can just select them all and click done and confirm. So now every ticket is asking for the first name. But then let's say the people that are getting dinner, I need to find out if they have food allergies. I can ask an additional question for those 2 tickets to collect that information. So I would come back here to add the form element, and there's a few, fields built in here, but really you can get custom with this custom field option. And then, so let's say we ask, do you have any food allergies? If so, what? And then there's lots of different types of fields you can make this. It could be text is the smaller text box. Text area is a bigger area for them to type into. Couple multiple choice options and date if you need to maybe ask their birth date or any other sort of date. I'm going to do text area, give them plenty of space to type out their information. We'll make it required. And now we want this just for these 2 options. And then you can also have it applied to the primary registrant, which is this main information here at the top. I don't necessarily need to do that. I just need to collect it for each ticket that's being purchased. So we confirm that. And now you can see general admission. We're just asking for the name. The other 2, we have that additional question. Like I said, this is a brand new feature. I love it. We used to be, it used to be where you could only set it up for all the tickets. You couldn't customize it. So very excited about that. But that's how you do that. And I'll stop there. I could keep going, keep asking for lots of custom additional things, but for the sake of time, let's move on and talk about payments. If the event costs money, you will use Stripe or PayPal to collect those digital payments. So you'd want to set up an account with either one of those. There is a fee, a transaction fee that comes from those platforms. They're slightly different. It's listed under here to help you remember. And then Constant Contact collects an additional fee of 2.9% per order. That fee you can pass along to the people purchasing the ticket, or you can absorb it. But the platform fee, like Stripe, is 2.9% plus 30 cents. PayPal's more, it's 3.49% plus 49 cents. That gets taken out of your total revenue by the platform itself. So choose one of those 2 options. With both, you can collect credit card information. With PayPal, you can also do Venmo. They can use their own PayPal account, things like that. So choose the option you want, connect your account, and then you can start collecting those payments. Now, for pretty much all of you, that'll be the only option you have. I have an older account, so there's a couple other options that have been grandfathered into mine. So I'm going to choose just a different one. Since this is a fake nonprofit, we actually don't have PayPal or Stripe for that. So we'll just go with that and then save it. And now the event is all set up. It's in a draft status. So let's activate it so that we can start promoting it. Okay, Now we can start collecting registrations and, like I said, promoting this event. So let's look at all the different options we have here. This is called the event dashboard. So under our event tools, we have the confirmation messaging. This is what they see when they register, and then it also has the message in the email that they get. It is set up, so we'll leave that, but you can update any of the verbiage that you need. Now, Brittany, they do get the URL to the webinar in the confirmation email, I believe. It's just not in the calendar widget. So maybe you can make it clear in the confirmation to, save that link, something like that, just so they know it won't be on their calendar. So they should save that somewhere safe, or save the email or something like that. I know that's also just a workaround, but like I said, our support team could talk you through some options too, if you want to talk more directly with someone. But then one thing is the landing page. So you can create additional landing pages. You don't really need to, because there's one that was created for you automatically. So let's go ahead and edit that. This is, I mentioned briefly earlier, a standalone web page that will have all the information about your event. You'll get a link to this web page, and it's really good for putting on social media. You can email it out to people. We'll look at the email option in a second. But you can think of it as like your event hub, and you're just putting this link out there. You can text it to people if you're using our SMS. But really, you just want to come in and customize it. It has all the information for the event filled out. The register button goes to the registration form automatically, but then you can edit it from there. If you've ever created an email in Constant Contact, same exact editor. So everything on the left can be dragged and dropped in. You can add pictures, and design would be the color scheme. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but let's say one thing I always recommend is the social share. So maybe you could click and drag that to the bottom. This allows the people viewing this page to share it to their own social media page. So good for word of mouth. There's not a ton of edits you can do to it, unless you want to give them other options to share the page. But never a bad idea, unless it is like a private event that only certain people should be coming to. And then, so we could look at, you could drag in a text box to the top if you want more information. Images, we could put our logo up. And if we had more time, we could come in, maybe like add pictures of the pets that they're supporting or the auction items. If you're hosting a class, you could put a little bio of the speaker of the class. Really whatever you need. This is the place to get all the information just in one central location. So something like that. Let's stop there. We'll save and activate it. Deanna has a question. Hopefully I said your name right. When we signed up for this webinar, there is the ability to add to your Outlook calendar. Is that an option? So we use our platform for the webinar is BigMarker, so they have that option through that platform. There is, let's preview, let's go back into it. There is an add to calendar option, but as Brittany has experienced, it's a little bit limited as to what information is saved on your own calendar, but I think Outlook is on here. Let me confirm. It's on the landing page, but it's also in the email, especially when they register. If they're just adding it, yeah, Outlook Web and Outlook Mobile is what it has. This would just be adding the event in general to their calendar because they haven't actually registered for it if they're looking at this page. All right, so that's the landing page. And this is what you really want to put on every platform that you use. The URL to the page is up here, right at the top, so you can copy that. The link to the registration form itself is also up here if you need that. But then once you have that all squared away, highly recommend sending out emails. We recommend at least 3 emails when you're promoting an event, a just initial invitation, a reminder, and a last chance email. And then through here, you can create an invitation. This is an email you would send to whatever list you want. Once that goes out, these are grayed out right now because they don't apply yet, but there's a follow-up message you can create. So once you have registrants, this option becomes available and you can send an email just to them. So that's great for, following up after the fact, or if there's a message you need to send out before, like a reminder, something they should bring to the event or something like that. And then for non-responders, that is the people you sent the original invitation to, but haven't registered yet. So that's good for those reminder and last chance emails. Oh, that's a good tip, Brittany. You can add the link to the event blurb and that gets added to people's calendars. So let's just hop in. Let's do an invitation real quick. I'll go through this quickly because it's the same exact editor as the landing page. And it actually looks very similar to the landing page. So it's all branded to kind of all look the same to help you with that consistency. So a few templates, we'll go with the invitation. Select that. We'll just wait for this to load up. You'll see it looks very similar. The button in here will go to the landing page. So this register button automatically goes to the landing page. With the emails, they can decline. And then if they do that, then they won't get those non-responder emails. Otherwise, you can edit this however you need. Same options on the left. You could even do that social share option again. And then they could share this email with their friends. But like I said, I won't go into too much depth with this because it really is the same. You do want emails to be as short as possible because people's attention spans are low. Most people check emails on their phones these days. So this is where you get like the essential information. And then when they click register and go to the landing page, that's where they can see everything. But otherwise, you would just continue on. And this is just like if you've used our email marketing platform, literally the same thing. You choose the list to send it to, send it now, schedule it for later. Since ours is in July, maybe we don't want to quite start promoting yet. Maybe like April is when we start sending out our invites, or March 31st, and then schedule it. That's all you need to do there. So like I said, do at least 3 emails. In my case, because it is over the summer, maybe I'll send out a few invitations and then start doing those non-responder and last chance type emails. All right, couple other things. So up here at the top, I can turn this on and I can add this event to my calendar and widget. That is these 2 things right here. This event calendar is a web page basically, so you can give them a link to this calendar and then you can have all your events show up on this same calendar. So if you host multiple events throughout the year, You can direct people towards this link. They would all show up on here, and then you click on whatever one they are interested in and they would register that way. The widget, this is something you can embed on your website. So you actually get some HTML code, and then this updates with all your upcoming events as well. So that makes it really easy to promote your events on your website. All right. So that's how to promote the event. You get your landing page set up, your emails, add it to a calendar, a widget, and then use our SMS texting, our social posting. You can do all that from the left side, SMS and social posts, and then you could get this landing page URL out there. But then once you start getting some registrants, that's where you get reporting. So let's actually register for this event so we can see what that looks like. So I'll open up the landing page. Maybe I'm a board member. So this was emailed to me, or I found it on the website, social media, wherever. I get taken to the page, I read through it. I decide I want to register. So I click register, takes me to the registration form. Now I sign up. And because I'm the board member, I know that I can type in a code up here. And my ticket has appeared. So I'll grab one of those. Then maybe I have 3 people I'm bringing with me. And we all get some t-shirts and then continue. The point of contact, I'm going to pretend my name is Jack Smith. He's the board member. So he put his info. We're opted in to receive the news and updates. And then we fill out the information for each ticket. Now, one thing that sometimes people get confused about is Jack is the point of contact for this order or this registration. But he also has his own ticket, this board member. So he has to put his name in again because we asked for that information. And then maybe he has no allergies. But then we'll fill out the other tickets. Me, no allergies. We can say Brittany is coming with a dairy allergy, and Deanna, wheat allergy. All right, so we filled out all our information. We continue. This is, if I had Stripe or PayPal set up, this is where they type in their credit card payment info and then complete the order. So then here's the confirmation page. There's the details. I gave them the option to have the tickets. So now we view the tickets like so. We can download that to a PDF. We can print it. And then Jack would have gotten a confirmation email with all this same info as well. So now that we have a registrant, we come back, we can refresh our page here. And we'll see the reporting. So this is what we use to manage the event. There's some higher level reports and then some more detailed reporting that you can get. So first of all, we just have this overview, days till the event, the revenue we've gotten so far, orders, tickets, add-ons, promo codes. And then if we want to get a little more detailed, we click over to this reporting tab right here. Here's all the registrants listed down here. So if I click on Jack, there's the 4 tickets he got. He has those t-shirts on here. You can check them in from this page. So if they handed me their ticket, I could check in that they attended. I can cancel the registration, view his tickets, and even resend the confirmation email. And then there's these activity reports. Orders, that's pretty much the same as the registrations. Tickets, really just tracking the ticket inventory here, how many of each were purchased. Same with add-ons. So 4 out of 75 were sold. And promo codes, how many times it was used. I know I'm going through those fast, so let me know if you have any questions on that. But then that's just, like I said, a high level view of inventory, who has signed up, things like that. If I want to get all the details, that's where I would export either a full report, or I can come here and do a custom report. Like if I'm the one in charge of the t-shirts and I just want to get a report with the number of orders of the t-shirts, I could do that. So let's do a full report here. And this actually comes through as a CSV file, so like a spreadsheet that you can open up. Download that, open that up, and we'll give it a second to open up on my computer here. Here we go. Let me drag this over. So it has a column for each field, each piece of information. So this is where I dig into like the custom questions. The food allergies are over here. And then the ticket that's associated with that information. The t-shirts are here. The ticket number is here, the price. So that's what you really want to dig into when you're looking for the information that you need. The other ones are very high level. But otherwise, that is it for the demo. Let's wrap up and answer any last minute questions. So just to recap a few things, the first thing is to just get started, build that event and your promotions, and focus on the value your event will provide. And then it is important, use multi-channel marketing is the buzzword, I guess, but use various channels, social media, email, text message, your website. You could even find like a QR code generator and take that landing page link and turn it into a QR code and then print that out, put it on a sign, things like that. And then it is important to follow up. So even if it's just a simple thank you, or if you have like a recording you want to send, pictures that were taken at the event, even ask for feedback, send out a survey. That'll help you just keep in touch with them, keep the momentum going, and then you'll stay top of mind. So if you want to reach out to them even further after the event, you can do that and they'll remember who you are. And we are here to help. So I know this is a lot. If you need help putting together a plan, so if you need like a marketing plan for your event or just in general, if you don't have a very big list and are looking for some strategies for growing your list, if you need content ideas, or if you even just want someone to do all the work for you, we have different marketing services. So you can have like a marketing coach that you work with on a monthly basis, or there's a couple other options where you can you're almost like hiring a marketing person to do it for you. But the benefit is they're a constant contact person, so they know exactly what they're doing with our platform. So I just put a little pop-up there. You can click to learn more, see the different options. You can fill out a little form. Someone will call you and can sign you up for that. It starts as low as $60 a month and goes up from there depending on how much work you want us to do for you. All right, well, now we can spend the last few minutes on questions. Go ahead, type those in, send them in. We can wrap up with that. I will let you know we have a webinar called How to Connect and Manage Your Social Media in Constant Contact. That dives into those social posting tools. We didn't really look at that today, but that's one of the options in your account that you can use to promote your event. You can post to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn through our platform. we just added an option where you can post short form videos now. So really cool tool. I'll put a pop-up for that. This actually goes to the page with all our webinars. So if you're curious about that SMS texting or need to take a step back and just learn how to create and send an email and upload your contacts, we have a webinar for that. We have one for email automation, pretty much everything. They're all free. You get a recording whether or not you attend. So if there's one that even just sounds kind of interesting, you can sign up and get the recording even if you can't go. Let's see if we have any other questions that came through. Yeah, here's one. Can you show how to post the event to social media? Yeah, I can show it quickly for sure. Like I said, there's a whole hour-long session just on that, but I can point you to the right direction. So that would be our social post. So let's copy the landing page URL and then come to social posts. And the first time you use this, you do need to connect your Facebook, Instagram, and or LinkedIn. But then you would create the post. We've done quite a few, so that's why you're seeing a lot of stuff there. But you would connect your accounts, the caption, you'd paste in the link, but then you do want to put other information besides just a link. So you can actually have the caption be written with AI if you want, or type whatever you want yourself. You can shorten the link, add pictures, schedule it, post it now. What's nice about scheduling for later is you could plan out like your whole social media campaign for this event in advance, and then it just keeps posting for you. And then you can even, let me close out of this. Once you post the posts, there's this inbox. So if someone comments or DMs you on Facebook and Instagram, it'll actually all come into this inbox, and you can even reply from here. So you're kind of just like getting it all in one place. And then there's analytics. We don't have our accounts connected right now, so you can't see too much of that, but that's what that is in a very, very brief nutshell. Otherwise, yeah, that's all I'm seeing. I think we got to everyone else's questions earlier, so I'll just say if you think of anything else, we have lots of resources. You can click the question mark icon in the top right, or it's in your account. You can access tutorials, FAQs. We have recorded webinars, more live webinars, our support team. You can call and chat. We also have a page called the New Customer Hub. I'll include this link in the follow-up email along with the recording. But that's where we have an Ask a Trainer program, we call it. So you can hop into like a virtual room. Someone's in there, sitting there waiting for you. And then you can do like a virtual one-on-one session with a live person that way. That's more for the how-to questions. The support team is good for tech support, and they can answer like how-to questions as well. But a few different options there. I will point out the handout. So on the right side of your screen, kind of near where the Q&A is, we put together a handout for you as well. This is a PDF you can download with some follow-up links and resources and good things there. So keep an eye out for that follow-up email. Give it a few hours. We do need to get the recording all ready for you, but then we'll send that out and you'll have that information to follow up with. Otherwise, thanks for joining and have a good rest of your day. Oh, one last thing to mention. When I close the webinar, a survey pops up. So if you have another minute or two to fill that out, it's just 4 quick questions. We'd love that. But otherwise, now we're ready to wrap up. So thanks for joining and have a good day.